This is Ark Raiders. We're here on Xbox Series S. Be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. So this is a looter shooter extraction game where you drop in as a group, a team, a squad, and you're attempting to gather resources and survive and then exfiltrate. And you use those resources to create better tools, weapons, items that will help you survive in later encounters. And yeah, it's kind of just that's the core loop. It's PvPvE, so you're fighting others and then a series of robots that are sprawling across the environment trying to kill you, which is riveting. So yeah, that's kind of the gameplay idea. There's a few different areas. When I was first playing this to do my Series X PS5 Pro video, there was like one area that I was getting, but yeah, there's actually a few different sections. The environments are relatively similar, although some do offer slightly different variations. Things like rain and stuff can happen. There's actually kind of a neat mix-up of environmentals, and the game actually has like really good aesthetic and flow going on. Here on the Series S, there's quite a drop in terms of the fidelity, but you still get a pretty decent frame rate. And yeah, that's kind of about what you can ask for when it comes to like a shooter game, especially one with loot and stuff. Ah, crap. So anyways, you're gathering loot, gathering resources, fighting others, scavenging, and then leaving. And of course you have to make sure your exfiltration point is safe and everything like that, but yeah, that's kind of the gameplay at a bare minimum level. There's some other stuff to it, but yeah, at the heart of it, that's kind of what we're getting here. So the Series S, as per usual, is the roughest version of the game. It's Unreal Engine 5, so obviously things are pretty demanding technically, which makes sense. Okay, good. I was worried I was going to break a leg there. And yeah, it's like temporal to 1440, but I think the internal on this one, it's sort of looking like we're getting, ooh, it's like 600p-ish. Like it's internal, so then it like upscales, but yeah, it's a pretty soft picture, and there's still, it's got the same thing as we see on the other platforms. There's like stuttering occasionally, and then some performance drops. So your usual UE5 stuff, but hey, you get 60 FPS. Like I said, it's clear enough. Like it is really quite blurry, and that's not even just like the fog. But yeah, it's clear enough to get the job done on Series S. I did also notice that there's some environmental things like twitching assets and stuff, but like this is a test, so you know, this is something that is a work in progress, so it's likely to be improved upon, and I think this is as far as this kind of stuff goes, it's not a, you know, not a bad state to be in at this point. It's just, yeah, it's got some little technical stuff. I can't tell if you want to end my life or you're just running away with loot. Maybe it was just a loot machine. Usually they attack you. But yeah, like the gameplay loop on this one. Yeah, I'm like, I've been saying I'm kind of a little indifferent on things. Like I get that some people would be into this, but like I just coming off of a stream on this one, and I like honestly just found it relatively boring. yeah, you just kind of go around walking around grabbing items, and then, you know, occasionally there's some action stuff, but like a lot of it you just kind of walk around, and I guess it's the teammates you get. You can go it solo if you want. It's just I don't know if this extraction genre thing, unless it's like with more of a centralized focus, is really something that's hitting off for me. Because we are just literally, it feels like I just walk around in this. Grab some stuff and then, you know, sort of leave if I can. Of course, there's other people that will attempt to kill you if you come across them. That's the thing, too, is like if you come across anyone else, like you might just literally be wandering around the whole time and, you know, nothing really happens. In theory. So that's kind of the gameplay. But like as I was saying, I find the gameplay and stuff in this one, there's definitely something like interesting here, and I can definitely see how people would be into what this is. It's just whether or not it kind of, I guess you would say, clicks with you, and whether you find the gameplay loop satisfying or not. This guy wants to leave already? We just got here like 6 minutes ago. It doesn't even want to like look around or anything like that. But I will say that they definitely nail the ambience. You know, like it's a very desolate, sad sort of thing. If that makes sense. Like it's very, you know, broken down, things are lost, it's kind of sad looking. It's still, with it being a UE5 game, it does kind of look like the other UE5 games, all of them. You know, you'll be like, oh, it's kind of remnant looking, but also at times when you're in the environments, it's like, oh, it looks kind of like Stalker, and you're like, it's just kind of how the generation of all that stuff works. Is that a teammate, or...? We, like, get this thing out of here? Like, there was a guy there, we're just chilling, okay. Anyways, that was kind of an interesting last match we had there. Like, our teammate just wasn't really paying attention to the enemies that could get in there, and that's just kind of how it goes, you know, sometimes, where it's like, oh, there's another teammate or an enemy here, and it's like none of our teammates realize, and I guess that's like literally a big problem, is a lot of it's just kind of like relaxing. Like I don't really feel the tension or the urgency that I really need to feel when I'm playing this type of a thing. Like a lot of the time I can just break out and dance and there's just not a whole lot going on. But I think they've, like I was saying, kind of nailed the environments at least. This is the spaceport level. The other one was a bit of a sandy city. There's also a dam. I thought that was kind of interesting. And there's like night raid missions. Believe it or not, this is not a night raid mission, but so there's actually like missions you can do at night where there's more potential like loot and there's more danger, which felt kind of the exact same, but it was just dark out. But I definitely get what they're going for in terms of gameplay. I'm gonna have to see what like the full release of this is, honestly. Like, there's something interesting here. It's just I wish that interesting kind of captured me a bit more. And like honestly, on Series S, this is like you know, like I said earlier, it is blurrier and stuff, but like it's not bad looking on Series S either. Some of these environments actually look pretty good for this platform. And as I mentioned, actually having 60 FPS is just awesome. It's just ideal. I've had way too many Series S games recently where it's just, you know, like low performance and bad visuals and stuff. So it's kind of refreshing to have one that's better, if that makes sense. Like actually performing good. Like, I mean, it's still got like little technical bumps, like I was saying, but for the most part here, this is absolutely like fantastic compared to what I'm used to. Hmm. Breach in time. Don't worry, teammates. You just sit back and stuff and let me grab my loot before coming up here would be great. Considering I did the work to do that, but yeah, it's a neat team kind of dynamic. Like I could see, like I could kind of picture playing this. You know, you got a group of pals, you're roaming around, you're shooting stuff. You know, you're having a good time, you're chatting. Like I could see that being a lot more enticing, and maybe you play it with like a little bit of a more tactical edge, you know? It's like, okay, you do this, you do that. Like, I've seen some people play this as if it's like the most tactical thing in the world, like they're crouching and moving through corners, and it's like, I don't really think this game is that kind of a game, but maybe it's trying to be that kind of a game, and I don't know. It's just, it's intriguing how like different players have like engaged with this game from what I've seen. Across, like, actually, like, a fair bit of game time, honestly. Like, it's... Yeah, I've actually put in some good time on this, checking it out on different platforms and then doing a stream of it as well, so... I feel like I got an idea of the loop. It's just, it's not something so far that keeps my interest long-term. Like, it's something I would just kind of, like, play, cover, and then jump away from really quickly. I know some might feel really encaptured by this, but it's gonna really come down to what the final gameplay and style is like, environment-wise, and then also the loop of your extra stuff. So like I said, you're gathering items, and then you're escaping. And then you use those items in order to do stuff. So like you're trying to, say, be able to craft guns, upgrade those guns, scrap stuff in order to get like money to buy items, or scrap to use as scrap for recycling and like making things. So that side of it is quite interesting, and then there's the AI monsters. So it's more about like, I'm curious what exactly, like I haven't come across any loot that I'd be like sad to lose yet. And I think that's a problem. I shouldn't play like, let's say, several hours of gameplay and not come across anything where I'm like, oh no, I need to get this away, you know? I think that just doesn't really create a good enough loop for me, where I feel like I'm getting something out of it. But all to their own, right? Maybe little scrap pieces, or, you know, so you can upgrade to a slightly better gun. Maybe that's the thing for you, but the reward system just doesn't seem rewarding enough. Because I think I had like one cool burst fire gun, which I could just craft if I get a high enough bench, but you know, I haven't really felt like I've gotten anything where I'm like, oh yeah, no, I need to get this. If I die, I'm going to be so disappointed. And that is not a good enough feeling for the amount of time I put into this, the more I think about that. But different people have different, you know, reward goals. Different things that satisfy them as far as rewards go. Just for me, yeah, I hope for something a little bit more exciting. Oh, it's gonna scan exactly where I am, isn't it? Great. Y'all find the robots? I'm gonna have to look more into the lore of this game, because it's just kind of weird that this type of robot was the robot that, like, caused humans to live underground, like it's the Matrix. Like, the larger robots I get, but even then I think we'd be able to take those robots out. I don't know, like... It's just weird, because, like, so much of this game is really, really genuinely interesting. Like, you know, the sound, the visuals, the design of it. Like, it's got all the right kind of stuff, but it's just not, like... It's not keeping me in the thing where I'm like, oh, I gotta keep playing this over and over again. I don't think that's what you want for a game like this, where it's supposed to be a loop where I'm never-endingly wanting to be playing this. Like I said, if it does... Ow. If it does look enticing to you on Series S, it's at least pretty good experience as far as Series S stuff goes. It needs a little bit of work, but, you know, that stuff can be worked on. I feel like there's a lot of enemies around here and we're kind of stuck in a bad spot. But hey, at least there's some action. So much of the game, just not a whole lot happens. But there's some interesting, you know, inventory management you can do. There's some creative ways you can keep loot and expand your loot and inventory. They got some cool stuff to this. That's the biggest thing I want to get across, is like, I think there's enough here for it to possibly be intriguing. But it's going to depend on the person. If there wasn't somebody, like, that thing only detects people, so there would have had to have been someone there. Throwing that out there. But yeah, even like atmospherically, the design, the aesthetic of this stuff, it looks nice. It's just kind of, I don't know. It'd be cool if this type of world could be used for something else almost. Which is also not a great way for me to be thinking of this. That person dead? There we go, that's nice shield recharge. Kind of funny because like we have the high ground, but yet I'm getting damaged incredibly quickly. The idea was I was hoping to get like a bit of a flank on these guys by having the high ground, but that did not work out for us in a meaningful way, which is a bit of a shame. It's also a lot of what you can see too, right? Like there's lots of neat angles, lots of hidden ways that lighting is done. Well, the attempt was there. I would revive me before they come and start flanking. I'm just going to throw that out there. Did nobody see that coming but me at all? Like, it's just the thought process on some of this stuff. I kind of ponder. I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Like, that was definitely deserved, I'd say. What's he gonna try to do? You're basically on the ground. They're just gonna finish you off here. Alright, this is the testing ground area. So thought it'd be nice to kind of finish this off and show off another little spot in this game. But yeah, I really do think there's some decent potential in this one. But the question is just gonna be whether or not the loop is enough for people to actually, like, you know, want to keep playing this game and wanting to keep enjoying and interacting with it. Because for me, it's just kind of like, it's just been okay. It's just really been alright. Which I don't think is enough these days. And there's, you know, there's various extraction looter shooters. And, you know, it looks, like I said, it looks great. Plays well enough. It's got some neat mechanics. The looting and stuff's not bad. It can be fun playing together to a degree, but I just can't get over how much, like, meandering I do, how much walking I do. It just, like, there needs to be some kind of other little thing that catches my interest, and I just haven't really gotten that from this, I guess.